Okay. Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. We've had a bit of a hiatus. So at the board meeting of the 14th, I'm trying to think back now. You just threw me off when you said, is it the longest meeting? Because we didn't do the show last week, but we did have a meeting on the 7th. So I forgot all about the meeting on the 7th, so I wasn't really going to go over it. Well, was that your whole big thing? You were going to talk about that?
You told me there wasn't one until the 14th.
I know, but then in my absence, one was scheduled for the 7th.
I did not
with the HDC.
Well, I guess we have a lot to talk about.
So on the 7th, the Board of Selectmen met with the HDC to discuss some staffing issues. I'm going to say, read the book on that meeting.
All right.
If you know what I mean, read the book, because it's too long to say everything. Or go watch the video. It was just very long, but I'm going to say this: to make a long story short, the end result of that meeting with about the staffing was that I, as a town manager, was charged with meeting with the HDC chair about the staffing, which we did this week, and it was pretty good. At the board's meeting this week, the 14th, they did a couple of committee appointments, including appointing people to the another new fire station work group. We're going to be looking at the fire station project again.
How long is that going to take?
It's going to take a couple months.
Okay.
We had a public hearing on the sewer district articles that are on the special town meeting warrant for October 17th. So these articles relate to adding parcels to the sewer, to one or the other of the two sewer districts. And the Nantucket has a special sewer act, which legislates how sewers issues get dealt with here. And one of the things that happens when we are going to be amending sewer districts is, first of all, they go to town meeting. Second of all, the Board of Selectmen determines, as the Board of Sewer Commissioners, whether or not it's going to support the inclusion of the parcels into the sewer district. And if they don't, then there's a 2/3 vote at town meeting. If they do, then it's a majority vote. That's basically it. So they agreed that the parcels should go into the sewer district.
But we still are voting.
But we're still voting on them at town meeting. We also had end-of-year budget reports for the fiscal year of fiscal 16 for the general fund, the water company, and the airport. And there didn't seem to be anything overly new and different about the end-of-year reports. We gave a preliminary fiscal 18 general fund budget overview with some projected revenue and expenses and the review of some financial indicators, economic indicators. We're going to be sending out our budget instructions to departments very shortly and start working on the fiscal 18 budget process when we're only 2 months into the 17 budget. This is just how it works. We also had an update about the Easy Street Bulkhead project. Okay, now, this is a big deal. We didn't realize that actually this project is going to necessitate the closure of Easy Street for a 2 to 3 month period. Shut down Easy Street. We're going to have to divert traffic and rearrange parking for that period of time. We'll have an announcement about this at the board's next meeting with a map, and we're going to be full on trying to tell people about it. This will start at the middle of October. So start wrapping your head around that.
So it's going to close
down of Easy Street.
Middle of October.
Middle of October. It's going to have to be opened up, not for car traffic, but for pedestrian traffic for Thanksgiving weekend and stroll weekends. But that's it.
I guess
otherwise
doing it in the winter, it doesn't make sense. Like
it is. There's weather issues and icing up and things that have to be taken into consideration, and it's hoped that it'll be done before the weather would be causing those things.
Yeah.
But it's a project that A, has to be done, and B, it requires the closure of the road because that's what has to happen.
What are they doing, Libby?
They're replacing the bulkhead along the Easy Street, in the Easy Street basin.
That metal piece?
Yeah, the metal piece, but down in. There's steel pilings that have to go in there. The whole thing has to be ripped out and replaced. And the sidewalk has to be redone.
Are they going higher? No.
A little bit. I don't know what you call it. The covering there.
Yeah.
Whatever. The top of the bulkhead will be a little bit higher. Not a lot. People will still be able to sit on the bench and look out and all, but it will be a little bit higher.
Yeah. Well, it has to be, doesn't it? with what we are expecting. I mean,
Well, I think it's part of the whole FEMA flood
Sure.
code stuff.
yeah.
So that's what's happening. That's what happened at our meeting last week. Next week, the 21st, we've got more budget reports for the end of the fiscal year for Island Home, Sewer, and Solid Waste enterprise funds. We have a couple of liquor license hearings, some more violators
Uh-oh.
of underage drinking.
No.
Yeah,
You think they would have learned?
you would think by now they would know. The Board of Selectmen will be deciding whether or not they want to make any comments on articles on the special town meeting warrant for October 17th. So sometimes they do make comments, sometimes they don't, so they're going to determine that. And it looks like we're going to be having a little bit of a discussion with the Board of Health about septic systems and mitigation options with the incoming sewer project. So for example, if you have installed an innovative alternative septic system within a certain period of time within which the sewer becomes available, we're getting some feedback from people that they're concerned about abandoning their system because of the expense to
Sure.
install that system and then being forced to tie into the sewer at another cost. So there may or may not be some ways to mitigate that impact on people who are in that situation. So we're going to be talking about that. And there's a little bit more on that agenda, but I didn't write it down.
All right. Yeah. Well,
So-
we had a couple of guys from Matticat on.
Okay,
On
about the sewer project?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, so that'll be something to look forward to.
Yes.
I'm sure. And that's,
Oh, yeah. So that's the big article probably on the
big.
special town meeting warrant, whether or not to sewer Matticat, Warren's Landing, and Somerset.
Nice.
So, Gino, I was kind
Yeah.
of looking around for some walk-bys here. Nobody's jumping out at me.
No.
But there's a lot going on this weekend. There's weddings all over the
boy.
place.
Weddings, fairs,
Fairs, the
Elder
Island Fair,
Elder
and
Fair.
the Elder Expo. Those are,
Big.
yeah. Sometimes when people walk by, they look. I think they probably realize this is an important television show happening right here in India.
Yeah.
Don't you think they realize it?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do, but they don't know what to make of it.
Well, they want to see if you're actually
If I'm a
a beautiful
celebrity,
movie
they
star.
just want to see if I'm a
They
celebrity or
think
not.
from behind you look like you're a movie star.
I look
and then
like
they
one?
See you and
Yeah,
they go,
sure.
oh, that's Libby.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, it's just her. It's just that lady that does that show. Okay, so
Anything else?
it's beautiful
Oh,
outside.
We have had-
today. An incredible fall
we're in
so
a
far.
drought, right? I mean, is that true?
It is true. However, we did hear a bit from the water company manager the other day, and the region is in a drought. But Nantucket itself, the water table is fine. Nothing to worry about.
Okay.
It's a bit different situation because obviously we have our own sole source aquifer, so it's not quite the same as in other places. That's not to say go out and pour water all over the place. Be conservative,
Oh, sure.
of course, and don't be crazy with your irrigation system and all that. And be careful. But I don't think we're not
This time of year,
overly we're not desperate yet.